Hi lovely people. So I thought that today we would just do a quick get ready with me. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll probably know that my makeup preferences tend to be a little bit more colourful, but today I'm going for a far more neutral look, and the reason is because I have a job interview today. So we are doing a get ready with me so I look a little bit more professional. So we're just going to go straight into it. So the first thing that I'm using is the Urban Decay Urban Defense Complexion Primer. I don't know what the story is with primers and whether they necessarily work. But you know, I've heard so many people kind of rave about them and kind of go, oh my god, primers are the best thing ever. And I'm not 100% certain. Maybe it's that this primer isn't amazing. I have a few other primers, but I'm sort of, you know, with eyeshadow palettes I'll happily like open them and use them and then move on to something else because it's a powder product. But when it's a liquid product, I don't feel as happy about opening it and then leaving it to move on to something else. So I'm a bit weird about that. So there we go, primed, done. Put that back into the bag. You'll probably have heard that I have talked about that I've been using the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, mostly out of, like I said, I don't like opening something and then leaving it. I have to use it. But I don't like that foundation. So today, considering it's an interview, I'm like, I need to at least look semi-presentable. So I am using the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation in the shade Alabaster. It's pretty much the lightest shade that you can get. And I really like this shade on me. It seems to suit. As is usually the case with me putting on makeup, I can't see what I'm doing. So I have to take out my tiny mirror. So bear with me. And again, I'm all sniffly again. I just seem to just constantly feel sniffly. It's funny because I am quite pale. Trying to get a foundation to suit me is difficult. And then when I do get a foundation, the general consensus is that when you are using concealer, you should use a lighter shade of concealer. But the problem is, because I always take the lightest foundation, then the lightest concealer just matches that, so I can never get a concealer that looks lighter. So that's a lot of fun for me, you know, when you're being told, well, this is the way to do it, and then you physically you can't because there's no such options. I'm going to go in with just another pump of foundation just to, I don't like anything that's too heavy on me. I like to still be able to see my skin underneath. I know some people prefer a more full coverage foundation. That is not my jam. Not really into that. You'll see. I have particular makeup preferences, as should we all. If you are into a more full coverage foundation, then fantastic. You know, that's what's right for you. You know, everyone has their makeup preferences. Some people would look at my eyeshadow and be like, what is she doing? That looks manic. And I mean, you know, fair enough. That's their opinion and they are more than entitled to it. There we go. I think that looks like it's fairly okay. Excuse me for having to put the mirror up so close. I just genuinely can't see otherwise. And of course I was using a dampened sponge, just FYI, in case you thought I was going in with like a completely firm Real Techniques brush, just FYI. Not a beauty blender. Although I did buy one and I'm interested in trying it out to see what the hubbub is about that particular brand of beauty sponge. Just trying to blend it out. You'll see it actually matches my skin tone pretty darn well. And now I have my concealer. I'm going to get my concealer brush because I have the little pot. And I'm not putting on my glasses again because I think like the indents of the glasses frame always cuts in, and if I do that too soon then I end up with this whole thing and it's annoying. So I have the NARS concealer in the shade Chantilly. It is I believe the lightest shade there is. So you'll see now what I'm saying about concealers and trying to get something that is light enough for me, because this is essentially the same colour as my foundation. I'm just kind of patting it on. I know that some people blend it out with a brush. I find that, or not, yeah, with a, not a brush, a sponge. I don't like to use the sponge to blend it out because I find that it makes it a lot more sheer, and I'm kind of like, oh, that slightly defeats the purpose of me using concealer, which is to conceal the dark circles. But you know, to each their own. I'll never say I know a lot about makeup. All I know is I know what I like, I know what I don't like. And I'm assuming that you guys are the same. You know, you figure out what you like and don't like. It's a lot of fun trying to do your makeup when you literally can't see a thing. I'm trying to be aware that you guys are there as well, so sometimes I forget because I'm not very bright. I like a lot of concealer. I'm like, conceal all of my secrets. I think my under eyes have gotten darker in the last couple of years. Don't know why, but they have. So that's that. What I tend to do then, because I am a heathen, bear with me, is I just use my finger. I know, don't judge me, to just kind of pat it into the skin. I just find it kind of works really nicely. Like I said, I don't use the sponge because I feel then it shears it out, and I feel if I press it into the skin with my finger, it kind of looks a little bit better. Don't judge me. We all do strange things. This is one of my strange things. It creases a little bit, but I mean, I am 29, so my skin is not as youthful and lustrous as it once was. You know, I'm fighting time here. Who knows? My face is strange. So then I am going to take, I'm gonna throw away my foundation. Not throw it away, but just, you know, take it off my desk so I know what I've done. I'm taking the Laura Mercier powder in the shade Translucent. And I'm quite heavy-handed with this. I will happily fling it everywhere on my face. I know some people put it down here. I don't know why. I tend to just kind of put it under my eyelids. Under my under eye. I swear, it's like it never gives me enough, and I'm like, I want more. And then I'm like, I think I'm using too much. But is there such a thing as too much? Probably. There's probably some people kind of going, that is not how you do this, Teresa. I'm like, well then show me. Show me. Tell me how to do this. Because I'm doing what I can with the little knowledge that I have. And you see, because I've pressed it in already with the finger, when I'm applying the sponge again, it doesn't kind of move it around as much. It's more kind of set where I need it to be. I tend to put some setting powder up here as well for my forehead wrinkles. I still maintain that they're deep enough that you could set a row of potatoes there, you know, feed your family for the winter. Like it's a bit insane, but it's there. How much setting powder can I put on my face? All of it. So I think that's okay for now before I start looking like really weird. Yeah, so that's that bit done. I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. I'm not fantastic at doing that sort of, some people do these amazing eyebrows. I have fairly okay eyebrows to start with, so I kind of don't do a huge amount with them. I just use an eyebrow pencil, and this is MAC's Eyebrows Styler Crayon Sourcils in the shade Spiked. I bought this on a recommendation from, I believe it was Angelica Nyqvist. It was in her like products of 2018 or whatever, and it's all right. I have a Soap and Glory archery brow thing that I think is just as good, because it has this spoolie and it's a good shade for me, but it's like less than half the price of this. So yeah, I'm not a big MAC fan. I think they're a bit overrated, but it's funny because I think they're kind of dying down in popularity as well. So there's that. So put the spoolie back on. the lid on the spoolie. I don't know what I'm doing today. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm just gonna, you'll see, it's very haphazard. I'm just taking the crayon and kind of getting the general line of what I want. I'm afraid you're not going to learn how to do a good brow tutorial here. If that's what you're looking for, then I'm sorry. That is not here. You must go somewhere else for such knowledge. Because all I want is just to get the colour back in. Because like I said, my brows are fairly okay. They're fairly thick. I never really did much with them over the years. You know, I lived through the 90s when everyone had like crazy pencil eyebrows. And I was too young to have ever done any of that. Not that I would have. I was never really that bothered. I'm just gonna trace where I want. It's all terribly scientific, I'm afraid. JK. I don't know what I'm doing. So any of us know what we're doing. Sometimes I watch, you know, people and they're doing their makeup on, say, Instagram or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you really know what you're doing. Like, for me, it's just a wing and a prayer. It really is. I'd go in with huge enthusiasm. Sure, that'll do, like, that's fine. If you ever wanted to talk about what my makeup look is, it is encapsulated by the word that'll do. Or not word, words. It's one of those days. I use the NYX eyeshadow base in the, well, it doesn't have a shade, it says ESB01, so I'm assuming that's the batch number, but yeah, in the shade White Blanc, right? So I use that just to prime my eyes. It's nothing hugely fancy. I have an Urban Decay brush here that I tend to use for that, for whatever reason. It's a shadow brush, but it has got designated to do this job. So, you know, I'm running low on that. I know some people use concealers on their eyes, and I think that's quite smart, because at least then you're using a product up quite well, because I think that's one of my problems, is I probably amn't using my products to the best possible use. You know? I'm there with enthusiasm, but past that... Sorry, I keep putting that mirror up. But sure, look, you know what's happening. It's got to be a very simple look so I don't look insane. And that they're like, yes, she's a responsible person to employ. Because, okay, so what happened was, the last day that I was here, I actually have that video up. It was when I was doing the first impressions of the Layla 2 palette. After I'd swatched the first 2 rows, I got a phone call, and it was from a university, and I had applied for a job the night before, and basically they rang me kind of going, hi, so we want you for an interview on Thursday, and they kind of went, you know, this is what it involves, it's for a year. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll interview. And then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, oh, a job that's only for a year, that doesn't make sense, you know, me moving everything, because I have all of my stuff in, well, not all of my stuff, but I'm currently employed in the UK, so I was like, oh, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to just move over for a year, as much as I want to be back in Ireland. I was like, that's a bit whatever. So I emailed and kind of said, look, you know, it's probably best if I don't interview for the post, simply because it's just for a year and it doesn't make sense. So she emailed back and said, oh, well, what if it's for 2 years? And I was like, huh? So she basically was like, yeah, so we'll make it be for 2 years. Would you interview then? So I was like, well, yeah, if it's for 2 years, then definitely, because I've only less than a year on my current contract in the UK, and I'm not even sure that will get renewed. That's the word. So I'm just going in with like a Real Techniques brush and using the Laura Mercier setting powder on this. So yeah, that is, I have a Skype interview So I can be business from the waist up and pajama bottoms from the waist down, which is how I like it. Obviously I'm not wearing this. This is my pajama top because I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get stuff ruined. I go really heavy on the setting powder, don't I? Look, I know what I like. I know what I want. So yeah, that's the story. So I'm interviewing for that and I'm kind of like, oh, what is happening? So we'll see, I guess. I don't know what's going to happen or what sort of chances I have, but I mean, it'd be nice. I'd love to be back in Ireland. You know, that's the goal. Ugh, this is like totally caking and going weird. Ugh, so bad at makeup. Why won't someone teach me how to do it? I say as I watch loads of, like, what's the word? Makeup tutorials on YouTube, and I'm still rubbish at them. I think it's just the way my skin is. You see how that's kind of, it's gone. The concealer, it's gone a bit weird. Whatever. It'll be grand. So I figured I'd go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam eyeshadow palette. Yes, it's very neutral, but it's very pretty, in fairness. Like, you know, I won't get angry at it for being neutral. Because I thought it would make an awful lot of sense for what I was going for. So I'm going to just take, no, I'm not going to take that brush. Who knows what I'm taking. I'm just taking a Morphe brush, the M573. Not in great nick. Look at that. All these like frayed edges. And I haven't washed it that many times. So I'm just going to go into the shade Tempera. Just as an additional like setting shade. Just in case. I'm just going to pat it. Anyone who's watched me doing makeup on my channel is probably like, she has no idea what she's doing. They are correct. A lot of enthusiasm. A lot of enthusiasm. But again, most makeup users, we're just like, this looks nice, I want it on my face. And nobody's taught us how to do it. We're just guessing. We're like, that seems right. That'll do. So I've done that much. I'm not out of depth, but you know, when I'm doing oh, detailed blending, when I am doing a more, what do you call it, neutral look, I don't want to say I panic, but I kind of go, oh god, this isn't my jam, and I don't feel as comfortable, but I'm very aware that's what I kind of need to do for today. So I'm gonna go in with the shade, ooh, so many nice shades. I'm gonna go in with the shade Burnt Orange. I think that looks really pretty. And I'm using the, what one is it? The E33 Detail Diffusing Crease. So that's one of the new Sigma brushes that was released. Was it in July? Something like that. And I'm just putting it into the crease. Just packing it in. Pack, pack, pack. That'll do. That'll do. Oh, I mean, look at the pigment on that. That is so nice. Anastasia knows what she's doing. Damn her. She does. Like, you know, she does a good eyeshadow palette. Apart from Subculture. I know that there was apparently, you know, there's a way that you can use that or something to make it work, but I'm like, oh god. I shouldn't need to have a degree to know how to use a damned eyeshadow. So I patted it in and I'm just blending it out. Oh, I hear my cat. She's like, what are you doing? You doing something without me? Well, am I not involved? You alright? I'll let her in. She's just generally like, I like being around you. Which is nice. I mean, I think that looks nice. And then I'm taking it, saying the E33 Detailed Diffused Crease, patting it into the crease. Gorgeous eyeshadow palette. Like, it's neutral, and I was in two minds as to whether or not I would get it. But I was like, oh, look, a good neutral palette is never a bad thing to have. Because even if you don't use it, your friends who come over and use your makeup can then use it. So don't be selfish. Get it. Get it for your friends. It is a lovely eyeshadow palette. Look at that blending. I mean, just blends like a dream. Just basically have a cat tottering around the room kind of being like, what's happening? I think she's convinced she's going to help me with my Skype interview. I haven't quite broken the news to her yet that she is not involved in that. I suppose she's heard it now, so there you go. So I'm going to use the... Who knows what I'm doing? Who knows? I don't know what I'm doing. Do I want to do that? Yeah. I'm going to use the... No. I don't know what I'm doing. Who knows? I just put on this colour and I was like, it looks nice. Let's go with that. Somebody tell me what to do. No, I will use... yeah. I think I know what I'm doing now. I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. That'll do nicely. So I have the E27 Detail Blending. So again, that's one of the new ones. And I'm going to go into the shade Rustic. So it's a nice kind of a warm brown. Like I said, it's a very neutral look today. So, you know, if you came here for colour, I'm sorry. Normally that would be the case, but not today. Not on this day. God, I love the formula of an Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow. Like, it's annoyingly good. You know, you're like, oh, why does this have to be so good? Why? Why must she have all of my money? But it does look like she's, I don't want to say stepping up the game, but she's adding more stuff to the Anastasia Beverly Hills line. You'll see when I'm doing my makeup releases video. I don't know if this will be up before then. We'll see. Editing Teresa, you know what the story is. Do you want to maybe leave a little note? Let them know if the video's up already. Anyways, you'll see there's some more ABH or releases or announcements this week. So, you know, just blending this. I think they're blending really nicely together. You alright there, Cece? Her full name is Captain Cinders McChester. She's a rescue cat and I love her very much. She spends most of her day trying to hang out with me, and if she's not hanging out with me, then she's hanging out with some of the other cats. I have another cat called Louie and she's a smidgen obsessed with Louie. She just wants to hang out with her and play with her. Louie does not quite return the affections. You know, it's so funny because, you know, the last video I was doing here was about the Layla 2, and, you know, I was having a little bit of an existential crisis, kind of like, oh, what am I doing with my life? And now I'm still not sure what I'm doing, not just with my eyeshadow but with my life in general. But I feel a little bit more like, I don't want to say resigned, but like calm about it. Like, what will be, will be. That's blended nicely, I think. Don't know what you guys think, but I like it. And then I'm going to get, what will I take now? Ooh, do I want that? Yeah. I'm using basically all the new ones today for some reason. I'm just gravitating towards them. So I'm going to use the E42 Precision Firm Blending. And I'm going to go into the shade... Oh, which one am I going to go into? They are very softly pressed so that you do get a bit of kick up, which I don't mind. Like, that's not a big thing. Yeah, I've got to go into the shade Orange Soda. Brush down. So it was one of the ones that came in the palette. That's fine, I'll pick it up later. Or my cat will pick it up, who knows. She does have a tendency to be like, what is this? This for me? And then runs off with it. So I'm just going to pat that onto the eyelid. Give it a little bit of warmth. So it's neutral, but there's a little bit of personality to it, which pleases me. yeah, so I've had a weird couple of weeks, and you know, not just in my life but in my friends' lives, you know, there's a lot of transition and change, and I suppose, you know, it's, you're getting older and you're seeing everyone else is moving on, or things are changing within their lives, and it's very strange to see. Like, it's the natural order of things, but it's still like, I feel mentally like I'm too young to know people who've had the life changes that they've had. That looks okay, right? And then I'm going to go in with the shade Glistening, just on my finger, because we've talked about this before, but I am an animal. I like taking shimmers and just applying them like this. Just kind of press it in there like that. I think that looks nice. Just gently sweeping. Nothing wild or OTT, I think. Out you go. Sorry, I'm very aware I'm like covering this so you can't see it properly. Not that you'll really learn much, but you know what I mean. That'll do. I think that looks quite subtle, but nice. I'm gonna take the, where is it? Haha, there you are. Which is a sneaky brush. The flat definer, the E15, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Rustic again. Alright. There is method to my madness, I promise. You sit down. Very good. And I'm just gonna kind of put it along the tight line. See? Method to my madness. Method, I tell you. Just here, Cece pattering around, doing her own thing. Then when I take the, is that the one? Precision Firm blender, and just very gently blend it. Yeah, that looks a little bit more, well, I like it. I'm the only one I have to please today. Well, not true. I should try and convince an interview board that I'm competent, which is always fun. That'll do, right? That'll do. Back in with the Precision Firm blending just to blend the two together. That'll do. And I'm going to take the detail blending, the E27, go in with Rustic again. Just go on the outside and blendy, 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 blendy. Like I said, it's all very technical, you know, it's all as if you can't keep up. Hey guys, I figured I would put on some brown eyeliner just on the outer corner of my under eye, essentially, and put on some false lashes. I used the Eyelure Luxe Solitaire and I think they look quite nice. I'm going to take off the glasses so you can see a bit better. I think it looks okay, you know, nothing wild or daring, but I think it works. I left the setting powder on for quite some time. I'm now going to take, I got this brush for free, it was with Ofra, and it seems quite nice. It's very soft, very fluffy. So I'm going to use that to just brush off any excess under the eye. I think that looks okay. There we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take probably my favourite bronzer. It's the Balms Take Home the Bronze in the shade Oliver, if I remember. Yeah, Oliver. It's like written right there on the thing. So I'm going to take my Sigma large angled contour brush. It's the F40. And I'm just gonna dip it. It's a beautiful shade, like it suits me. It's the lightest one that they have, and it claims it's anti-orange, and I do think it is. It gives you a really good look without it being like really orange toned. Let's hope I didn't put too much on, but sure, I'll blend it out. if that's the case, you know. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Just when in doubt, circular movements back and forth. I think the eye look looks nice. It's not what I would usually go for, obviously. I like colour, but I think it looks good for the purpose. We'll see. We'll see. Like, I think it's nice because I don't like too much bronzer, because I think I tend to look a little bit insane looking. I put a bit of bronzer up here because I have quite a large forehead, and then I'm going to put it under the chin to try and hide the double chin. It doesn't work, but I'll continue to do it. The only way I can get rid of the double chin is to lose weight, and well, you know, I'll get there. But for now I use bronzer. And I probably will, even when I get rid of it. So yeah, I think that looks okay. Then the next thing I'm going to use is, we're very surprised, an Ofra highlighter in the shade Cloud9. It was a collaboration between Ofra and Nikki Tutorials, and it's quite nice. It's a little bit more out there for you know, my current purposes, but I'm kind of like, I need to retain a little bit of me, because, you know, otherwise it's just bad. Where did my highlighting brush go? Has it hidden itself? Hello, highlighting brush. It was hidden. So I'm gonna just take the FO3, which is the high cheekbone highlighter, and swirly swirly, again, all technical terms, and just go straight in here. Oh, this is nice. I mean, it's not like a natural one, but I mean, I was never really gonna go for anything too natural. I think it's fun. Like, I suppose if I wanted something more natural, I'd have gone for like Pillow Talk. But this is quite fun. Kind of alien-y. And I mean, don't they want a lecturer from outer space? I know I haven't forgot my blusher. I have blusher right there. Oh, it's very intense on the nose. I always get it really intense on the nose for whatever reason. I think it's because my nose is like, I don't know, nothing ever seems to stick to it properly. Probably gonna have to go over that with powder again just to like cam it. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Max Factor Cream Puff in the shade Translucent, and I'm going to take my Duo Fiber F50 as like a kabuki brush. Just gonna, you can see I've used a good bit of this. I tend to use it for this sort of purpose, to kind of tone things down. Calm down, highlighter. I know. Isn't it weird that I'm saying that? Because normally I'm like, more highlight, more highlight. But like for today, I'm like, oh God, no. Subtle, 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 subtle. Make them think you're normal. I am. I'm very normal. I'm very, very normal. I guess, maybe. Who knows? Let's see how that looks. Is that an improvement? I mean, it's still there, but it's not quite as whabam. Which, again, I know. I was like, one day I'm not looking for whabam, and I get it, but then it's my own fault. I used Ofra. They do whabam. What was I thinking? So I'm going to take the Colourpop, it's a Super Shock blusher in the shade Drop of a Hat. I think it's gorgeous because it has this sort of, it's like almost like a blushy highlight, and I enjoy that. So just trying to blend that out. Tap, 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 tap. I might take my blushy brush and just see if I can kind of get that a little bit more. Yeah, that looks nice. And now for the other cheek. I tend to put it quite high up on the cheek. I know that's not to everyone's taste, but I like it that high. So, you know, it kind of mimics what it actually looks like when I blush. I'm dropping things. And I'm just gonna try and blend that out a bit more. Because you never know. Just to make it look a little bit more subtle. Yes, I think we're almost there. We're almost there. We're at the finishing line. So I think the one big thing I have left to do is lips. But for the moment, yeah, I think this looks fairly put together. Right, so I have the Lime Crime lip pencil in the shade Chiffon. I seem to use this an awful lot. So I'm just going to overline just on the underlip. Because I have very small lips, and it's sad. I did not win the genetic lottery. Or indeed the lottery, so I could buy said lips. And then I tend to overline here on the outer part, not up here at the cupid. So even though that's what you're meant to do, but I find it looks weird on me if I overline at the cupid's bow. There. That'll do. And then I have a Dose of Colours liquid lipstick in the shade Lazy Daisy, and I think this is a really pretty sort of colour. It's like my lip shade but better. I really wish I had full lips, but I don't, so that's what I'm dealing with. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I look okay. Yeah. Oh, setting spray. It's here. I use the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Let's have a go. I know some people get those like fans. You know, those old-fashioned fans to like dry their face. I'm not that fancy. I'm very low tech. But that is it. That is the whole look. Obviously I'm gonna change. I'm not wearing my pajamas to an interview, but yeah, that's it. I'll let you guys know how it goes in a later video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you had fun doing the whole get ready with me. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any feedback in terms of how I can do this a bit better, like if you have any makeup tips, for the love of God, please share them. I'm not fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.